Hi everyone.
Hello.
My name is Perpetual.
And my name is Rudolph.
And together we're from Love, Faith, and Passion. So today we're going to share our story, how it all began, how we ended up here today.
Okay, so as Love, Faith, and Passion, we started in February 2016. By then, we were still in courtship. So we started it as a revelation from God. He gave us the release to begin sharing our lessons from courtship, moving on, our lessons from about our relationship, that is.
Yeah, so it was very interesting because when we began, people started talking about how what if it fails? What if you guys end up breaking up? What happens to the page? What happens to all this attention that you've drawn to yourselves? And I remember just thinking, what if it doesn't fail? And it's from that place that we continue to get confidence from God and to keep doing what we're doing, knowing that the one who assigned us is going to see us through. So here we are today.
Yeah, and so now Love, Faith, and Passion is a ministry now. It is a ministry that we pour literally our lives into. As we continue to allow God to lead us, we will continue sharing our lessons from the time that we were in courtship, as we said, and moving on. Now we're parents and we're still sharing with you our lives and our lessons as well.
Yeah, so that's it from us about Love, Faith, and Passion.
Yeah. So how we met is actually a conflicting story because I have my own take and she has her own take. So I'll do my version. So how we met, the first time that I saw my wife is she came, I came to a place where she was working. So she was actually my mother's PA, my mother's personal assistant. So I was going there to see my mom and to also check on a few other things. And lo and behold, I saw her. So I remember the only comment that I made, because I thought she was very beautiful, the only comment that I made was like, oh, so mom is hiring models now.
Before this.
You're still very beautiful, baby.
Before this.
Okay, yeah, so that's the only comment that I made. And so I just saw her and yeah, I just carried on minding my own business.
Yeah, okay, for me, I think I remember very well in 2013 at the Set Apart conference at the government complex. I was helping set up. I was very new at Set Apart. I think that was I was only 3 months into Set Apart. And so I saw the brother coming up and I was like, oh my God, he is so cute. And I told my friend and I was like, I think that guy is cute. And she was like, oh, he's got a girlfriend. I'm like, look, I'm talking about how cute he is, or that is not my business. So yeah, I think that's the first time I saw him. But of course, I kind of just kept my distance. Yeah.
Okay, so we actually courted for 8 months, and so how it actually happened was I asked her out to court me on our very first date. When I actually asked her to court me, I was coming from a place of praying and surrendering my love life to God. And so when we went on our very first date, we had an amazing first date. There's a certain peace that came over me as I was just looking at her. I remember, I think because she was nervous. Were you nervous, babe?
Very.
Okay, I think maybe because she was talking a lot. So, but I just remember looking at her, and as she was just talking and telling me about herself, and I remember this peace that came over me that, okay, you need to ask her out because this is actually your wife. So I then asked her out, and then we ended up courting for 8 months.
Yeah, I think for us, I joined their church, Anointed Life Ministries, in 2013, the same year I joined Set Apart. And I think after my moment of crashing on him, I sort of didn't marry the guy I saw at the conference with a youth pastor at church. It just didn't make sense. So it's like it was two different people. I couldn't recognize them. So we started going to the same church and I ended up joining the praise and worship team. And I thought, well, he can really sing and all that. And I had a lot of moments when he would be worshiping, and I would have moments breaking down, just enjoying the presence of God. And now that we were in this closed space together, we then got assigned to do youth ministry by Dad. And I would always complain because he would take like 3 days to reply to a text. Like, I'm asking him about what we should be doing, and he takes 3 days. And I was like, he is so frustrating, this guy. But anyway, we continued like that. And then when he then asked me out on my birthday to go on a date with him, I remember one of the conversations I had with God was like, I am not doing this, because for me, communication is a big deal. And this guy takes forever to reply one message. So how are we going to do a relationship? And also just how, even like in the beginning when starting out, I wasn't really sure, because I had come from a lot of heartbreaks. So I had my reservations about the whole thing. So
Yeah, so with us, actually, we knew each other for over a year. I think
2
over
years.
2 years, yeah. We actually knew each other for over 2 years. So from the time that we met, we actually knew each other for over 2 years. No flirting, nothing of the sort. Actually, we used to just see each other at church and at ministry, like at Set Apart and stuff like that. And so, and I think that what's amazing is that during that time, God was preparing us, and God was preserving us as well, because I know that I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I probably would have messed our relationship up if I had gone into it at that time.
Yeah.
So I thank God that He preserved our relationship and allowed us to sort of like not really see each other. Like you said, that you couldn't reconcile the two people that you saw, you know, at the conference and the one that you were with every Sunday. So He actually preserved us in that sense, that we actually took time just knowing each other at church, and eventually He opened up my eyes to see the amazing woman that you are.
Yeah. And it was a very interesting date. I mean, I had been in relationships, like a lot of relationships that ended so badly. So when my husband asked me out, I was like, you know what, I don't even want this. But it's interesting, because after he asked me out on that date, he showed up at my house at 6:30, all tied up, flowers, and I'm like, who is ready at 6:30 with a tie and flowers? So that really blew me away. In the morning, yeah. So we went on our date in the morning, and like towards midday, I was beginning to boil. I'm like, if he doesn't say anything about why he's doing all these things, I am really going to tell him off. And in the evening, he asked me out, and we dated for 8 months. And what really struck me about everything is that he was so sure, compared to all the other guys that I've been with, who just want to play with you. They want to take you to the club, but it was very clear from the first date that he wanted us to go somewhere. Yeah, that's it for now, but do join us next time for the next part of our story.
And don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share. Thank you so much.